Hello! Well, you've already seen pretty much everything that you want to see, but we're gonna do a little bit of a format mix-up. Usually you hear me talk and I give you the whole intro and talk for hours about the pedal before I start working with it. Well, now we're gonna start working with it, and then in the end you get my 2 cents. You get my unbiased opinion. So I'm not gonna give this to you now so that you still hear it with ears that are not my opinion. What? Huh? Well, whatever. Thanks to Shane Diario from In the Blues for hooking me up with ToneCity pedals and asking them very kindly to send them all to me. And Shane, you're a really cool guy, very cool demo channel. He freaking knows how to play the blues. Check out his demos. Very different approach than I have, so we're not in any way in competition. He shows one side of a pedal, I show the other. And I've learned a lot from his approach. So thanks, Shane, for being a friend. We're gonna go into what we got here. Actually, let's look at the setup. Woo, setup! Really cool blue SC250. This is a guitar that pushes. It's a rock monster, and I want. This is not a subtle pedal, so I want that balls. But I can also get the back in single coil, and then in the middle position, you got a really cool single coily kind of telly kind of sound. It's going into the Dry Martini, which is going into the tape machine delay from ToneCity. And that's going straight into the Carl Martin Custom Shop 50 head. This is a boutique hand-wired monster amp with KT88 in the power amp section, which means it is very, very honest and has a lot of headroom before it actually goes into some crunch. It's made for pedals, and everyone who's played through it is just blown away by how honest it is. It literally makes the Sir Badger sound like a toy. I'm not kidding. So we're going through this, and well, that's being mic'd right here. And it's going into, what is that, 4710D preamp on solid state, and into Cubase and all that good stuff. So, we're gonna hear the clean sound. Again, this guitar pushes the amp already a little bit, so we have the tiniest bit of breakup. Ha! That was a lot of breakup. So there's that single coily sound we talked about. We're gonna start with that. So we're gonna have the Dry Martini centered. The middle flippy switch, I don't really know what it's for. It's more high end, more low end either. We'll find out what it does. And some low gain setting. Let's go to the lowest of the low gain. Enough with all the single coily stuff. Obviously, this is an OCD clone. We all know that. So it's doing that fat power amp compression and power amp distortion that we all crave, but we can't get because we can't crank up our amps. So that's what we're getting, and you're hearing that. But some OCDs are very some OCDs. You know what I mean, some of the clones. And this is more playable, not so bleh. So let's go mid-gain, and then we play with the EQ a bit. That's the beautiful shut the fuck up neighbor, I'm trying to watch TV sound. You know, that's the neighbor next door playing too loud. Yeah, the sound that you don't need. So let's go high end. But we also lose some low end there, so I'm not sure you want that. I probably have it set about here. Let's see what the flippy switch does, huh? Gets you some more bite, probably a little bit more gain in the up position. That's where I'm going to stay, because I like it that cheat. So, more gain. Which, funny enough, that was a guitar company at some point from France called More Gain. But, of course, spelled differently, More Gain. Not sure. Used to be a guitar company. Fat kind of round sound, great for rhythms or of course for singing fat lead. So let's try a fat lead with the front position, and of course we're going to engage the tape machine. I don't know. Where am I? Well, there you have it. Fat sounds, not as attacky as some of the stuff, but like a really overdriven fat ass amp. Let's try one more thing. We're gonna go get the gain down a bit on this and try to push the amp with it a little bit. I mean, this amp isn't really meant for a lot of breakup, but let's see. So we have the tiniest bit of breakage there. Let's get some more breakage. Works. There you have it. And well, let's see what I think about it. Well, my 2 cents. There's a clicky clacking. It's not the pedal, that's actually Bruno, the dumbass dog who runs around and clicky clacks. Where was I? Well, my 2 cents. First of all, let me tell you that the lines that you can see in the pedal, I actually drew in. So what you get is a pedal that doesn't have lines on the mini pods, on the mini knobs, which is always annoying. And I applaud companies that do actually buy the mini knobs that have the lines, or actually have someone sitting there like me drawing them in. But it's important in the demo to see it, and it's important for you at home to see it. So either draw it in or write your local ToneCity dealer and say, I want them with lines, so that there's some pressure on the company. Generally, design simple, straightforward, but nice. And the color already obviously tells you it's an OCD. There's many OCDs out there. I like this. Some OCD clones are very, very fat, but they're missing the detail. Out of all the OCD clones that I've played, this is by far one of my favorites. And the build quality is great. In terms of packaging, could be a little bit fancier, let me put it that way. But it's a nice pedal. The idea with the lit up middle pot is nice. It's an OCD. Put on your board, set and forget, dry martini, get drunk. I don't know what else to say. It's the kind of pedal that we all know, and it's a variety of it, which works relatively nice. It works very nicer in low gain than other OCDs, and obviously high gain you can crank it up. Nothing else to say to that. It's probably way under $100 or euro or whatever. In that price range, you got a good, let's call it high gain overdrive. So for me, thumbs up. That's my 2 cents. If I had a board where space was an issue, I'd get one. So, get one. That's me. Out. So obviously there's more. Feel free to click on any of these videos you see here for some excellent demos made by me and my beautiful team.